So for anyone that's followed us for a while, you know we were pretty quiet over Christmas, taking a much needed break. And during this time away, I discovered a bunch of old retro games that I'd had packed away for years. And among all of these, I rekindled my love for old school hack and slash action games. The likes of Ninja Gaiden and Shinobi are brutally difficult, but have a fast-paced, fluid gameplay that holds up really well nearly 30 years later. That's why it was very cool and a little serendipitous that one of the first releases of 2023 happened to be a loving homage to this very genre of a bygone era. Hey, how's it going guys? This is Tom from UDS and welcome to our review of Vengeful Guardian Moonrider, a brand new 16-bit side-scrolling hack and slash adventure from publishers Joy Masher. We're gonna tell you everything you need to know before you play. But before I do, make sure to hit subscribe for plenty more on all things gaming every single week. Or at least we'll try and do every week. You know, the year is young, let's see what happens. So Vengeful Guardian Moonrider takes place in a quintessentially dystopic future setting. The authoritarian leadership have built an army of super soldiers to maintain their dominance. But all of this changes when they bring you Moonrider online. Similar to the likes of RoboCop, you're programmed to uphold the power balance. But instead, you choose to reject your intended purpose, choosing to rage against the proverbial and sometimes literal machine to save the world. You also look like a sick samurai warrior, because honestly in a game like this, it'd be rude not to. I'll get more into the style and the vibe in just a sec, but the most important thing with a game like this is the gameplay. And I'm happy to report that it's as laser sharp as a futuristic ninja's katana. From the initial tutorial, you're introduced to type platforming that expertly tackles horizontal and vertical movement just as well as any Metroid game or more recently, the likes of Dead Cells and Celeste. Whether it's running, wall jumping, or climbing monkey bars, it's super satisfying just zipping around like a ball of furious energy. The only thing I will say is when he's sprinting, he does look like a quarterback holding a football, but honestly that made me laugh more than anything. And once you've got the tutorial out of the way and you're up and running, you'll come across a veritable smorgasbord of enemies to defeat. Fortunately, you have a range of different attacks to combat them all that grows as you progress through the stages, and boy, you're gonna need them. From gun-toting soldiers, to turrets, to floating heads that fire lasers out of their mouths, and even some ninja-looking chaps who seem to have the smart disc from Predator 2, you'll constantly have to think about your strategy for every situation. The gameplay never gets stuck in a rut, throwing up new challenges at every turn. And on that note, yes, this game is bloody hard, at least for a scrub like me. Look, I enjoy games like this, but I'm absolutely awful at them, so found myself dying over and over and over again. But despite some moments that left me holding back naughty words through gritted teeth, it never felt truly unfair. There's a logical solution to every challenge, whether it be patience, timing, or some of those extra skills you pick up along the way. If you're used to these sorts of games, the difficulty won't shock you. But for anyone new to the genre, expect frustration, but also some of the most satisfying moments when it all comes together. Now, as I said, the visuals and aesthetics are more than a match for the gameplay. While reminiscent of its 16-bit predecessors, it offers a level of detail, depth, and refinement that just wouldn't have been possible back in the day. Beautifully apocalyptic, it felt like I was playing through a long-lost John Carpenter film, and that's a massive compliment in my books. And speaking of similarities to Carpenter's work, Moonrider is also augmented by a killer musical score. You know, playing those old games over Christmas reminded me how much those old soundtracks stick in your head, and how much they added to the experience, even if I didn't truly appreciate it at the time. But I definitely recognize it this time around with Moonrider, and I'll be searching out these tracks to add to my daily rotation. 2022 was a pretty quiet year for me in video games. Whether it was pandemic delays or just not many games that resonated with me, something just didn't click. But if Vengeful Guardian Moonrider is anything to go by, 2023 is gonna be more like it. It might not be long, the 8 stages can easily be completed in a weekend, and it might not be revolutionary, but it offers a bombastic dose of adrenaline that never outstays its welcome. If you're looking for something to tide you over before the AAA games of 2023 drop, look no further than this excellent retro throwback. But what did you think of Vengeful Guardian Moonrider? Please let me know in the comments below, I would love to read your thoughts. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit subscribe for plenty more on all things gaming every single week, or you can always visit upsidedownshark.com to keep up with everything we've got going on. But until then, my name is Tom, this has been UDS, and we'll see you next time.